Themyscira had remained peacefully apart from the world of men for centuries. As Queen of the Amazons, I made sure my warriors kept their presence secret whenever they left the island. While we faced threats from gods and monsters, the mortal world mostly passed us by. This was the way of things, and how I preferred it, until this great conflagration sucked us in like an unlucky ship in the grasp of the great Kraken. As Queen, I could no longer ignore the danger the outside world presented to our life and our duty on Themyscira. I took up the mantle of Wonder Woman, champion of the Amazons, and entered the fray. Be it god or man, I shall not abide freedom falling under the boot heel of despots. I discovered the wave of authoritarian inhumanity sweeping across the world and joined the side fighting against it. Soon, the Justice Society asked me to join. I was hesitant, fighting alongside such strangers, but they were committed to ending this war, so I became one of them. One or two of the team were also not without their charm.
I was perfectly happy busting criminals' heads on the mean streets of the big city. But then Jay and Alan approached me for a team-up. I was getting bored knocking around the same skulls day in and day out, so I said sure, what the heck, why not? Next thing I know, I'm in the middle of Europe, neck-deep in funny-looking fascists, all desperately in need of a major attitude adjustment. Along the way, we picked up a few more folks, and somehow decided upon a name, the Justice Society of America. I guess maybe because the Justice Society of Hoboken was taken. That's as good as the jokes get, so you better laugh.
Carter and I had just rediscovered our powers after reincarnating during the early part of the 20th century. We had some trial and error at first, and I had to overcome the way this society treats women, especially when it comes to danger and fighting. But I proved myself soon enough, and took the mantle of Hawk Girl to fight alongside Hawkman. After Carter was invited to join the Justice Society of America, I was left to find a team of my own due to some good old-fashioned chauvinism on the part of the few members of the JSA. Luckily, the All-Star Squadron didn't have the same foolish hang-ups. That changed once the war broke out and President Roosevelt decreed that those of us with special powers must all work together for the Allies to stop the Axis powers from taking over the world. That, and they let Wonder Woman in, so yeah. I remind them of that when I'm saving their butts all the time.
Kahndaq is a neutral nation. As Ted Adam and ruler, it is my duty to keep my people safe. At the beginning of this conflict, I was content to let it play out and deal with the victors once they emerged. But I soon realized the danger of that decision as one side's forces swept across Europe like a plague of old. Soon I knew it would land on my doorstep and my people would suffer. While Kahndaq remains safely neutral, I, Black Adam, fight against the Axis powers to bring the blight of fascism to an end!
After discovering I was living multiple lives throughout history, fighting crime and protecting the innocent from evil just seemed to come naturally. Reports of other masked heroes began to pop up in the newspapers, and forming a team just seemed to be inevitable. I'd run across Jay and Alan, and even Ted in my travels. So after our paths all crossed, we decided to join forces, calling ourselves the Justice Society of America. Unfortunately, Shira was, not allowed to join. A gross misjudgment on our part. Anyway, we had an adventure or two, but soon found ourselves fighting with the brave men and women of the Allied forces against the villainous rise of fascism across the globe. Never let it be said the JSA did not do its part.